over a century, these waves have broken at the foot of the cliffs on which stands the old Portland mansion of Maretimo, as each succeeding sunrise and moonrise has shone across the water to lighten its front door. When John Norman MacLeod built Maretimo in 1854, Queen Victoria had been on the throne for 20 years, although the style is English Georgian rather than Victorian. In 1963, Maretimo was purchased by Thomas F. Holt and his wife Joan. It was already classified A by the National Trust, but was in a rundown condition. Today, by dint of their hard work, love and devotion, it is now restored to its original elegance. Before MacLeod began building, he wrote a letter to his sister describing the land. "I should like as well to build and live at Portland on 50 acres of land I have there. One of the prettiest places you can imagine, with a view of the sea. Indeed, it goes to the beach with a high bank up from it, and all most beautiful soil." Little is known of MacLeod, except that he was born in Durham, England in 1804, and became a member of the Legislative Assembly in the then young state of Victoria. The National Trust plaque on the front wall reads, "Erected 1853-54 for John Norman MacLeod, Maretimo, restored 1965 by T.F. and A.J. Holt, classified A of national importance, to be preserved at all costs." At the northern end of the veranda is a glassed-in room, affectionately known as the Captain's Cabin. Where could one find a more relaxing spot to read or doze away the hours? Much of the original Old World garden still remains and is carefully tended by Joan Holt. On entering the front hall, apart from being impressed by its size, you cannot help looking to the far end through the door to the cross hall, where hangs a lovely oil by an unnamed artist of an unknown lady. Could it be she was the wife of John Norman MacLeod? Or, well, we'll probably never know now. The solid mahogany bed in the guest room, which is shorter than a normal bed, belonged to Edward Henty, the first permanent white settler in Victoria. It is recorded that Henty was a short, stocky man. There is some evidence that the elaborate cornice work, which is perhaps the best of its kind in a private home in Victoria, was designed and carried out on the job. The threat of being locked in the cupboard could well have been carried out in this 9-foot-high wardrobe.
prompted you to purchase Maretimo and settle down here at Portland?
We've often been asked how we came to be here. Now I think it was principally a matter of falling in love with the house, and we reached the age in life in which we were looking for a project, not a money-making venture, but something which would give expression to talents which we hoped we had for something. And when we saw the house, my wife and I fortunately both felt the same way towards it. And it's been most interesting to me, being down here, to realise that you can restore a house and still not physically be particularly qualified for restoring anything. And it's quite definitely the most important aspect is enthusiasm and affection for the project you have in view.
The woodwork inside the house is particularly fine, and the deeply recessed doorways clearly show the thickness of the walls. All the external windows had shutters to protect the people from hostile aboriginals. They are a masterpiece of design, folding back into the reveals and being completely hidden when not in use. From the rear paddock, the size of the house can be appreciated with its 56 squares of slate roof. The building to the left, originally containing the coach house and stables, harness room and coachman's quarters, has been renovated internally and now makes a very comfortable flat. Through the door to the enclosed courtyard, we pass to meet two well-loved members of the Holt household, Emma, who was an orphan, and Mac, who can only be described as a thorough gentleman. The old pump stands as it did over a century ago and still performs its intended job. The kitchen still has its old wood fire stove and, like the courtyard, is paved in basalt. From the kitchen, a narrow stairway leads to three spacious attic rooms, which formerly were the servants' quarters. On the other side of the courtyard is a similar suite, which was the children's nursery and governess' quarters. The morning room, with its 20th century TV, where the family spend their daily living, has a charm and comfort in keeping with the rest of the house. With our final view from the front veranda, we leave Maretimo in good condition to weather the next century of sunrises and moonrises over Portland Bay.